I do appreciate the substance of this hearing, and we've been ably represented by the gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Davis, and I don't have any specific questions, but I would just comment that this is an area that I think is critical to the future of our country and our reliance upon energy, how important it is, and this whole area that you all have been discussing today is of the utmost importance. So I want to thank you for holding the hearing, and with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cowper, one of the follow-up questions I had for you, as you look for people coming into your program right now, can you give us a little more detailed sense of where those people come from, the types of backgrounds they bring, and what varying levels of training they need once they show up at Edwardsville?
Great question, Chairman Braley, and we certainly thank you for it. As I mentioned earlier, the folks that are working in this industry, that they literally range from the GEDs to the PhDs, and that's what we see coming our doors. One of the programs that we're most proud of is a program that we launched through a Wired grant in January of this year, in which displaced workers, a group of people that we've not even touched on today, but displaced industrial tradespeople from the automotive industry in Michigan and other places around the country are traveling to our facility so they have something that they can put on their resume to relocate them, if you will, and find a good paying quality job. We range from that to people from Dartmouth and MIT. The folks from Muskoma have visited our facility. Really, the sky's the limit in the terms, in the types of people that come to our program. One of the things that I would encourage everybody to do in some free time is to read the exit interview of one of our recent interns that I included in my written testimony. Billy Whitlock came out of Michigan State University as a young chemical engineer that was full of theory but had no applied experience whatsoever. I remember Billy's first day because his first day coincided with my first day, and he looked at me and he said, "John, so that's what a pneumatic pump is." And I think that tells the story pretty comprehensive about our program.
Dr. Keir, one of the things that we know about educational institutions as a whole is they are constantly attempting to try to identify emerging needs for education and training, and meeting the demands of a highly skilled workforce will be an issue that is an ongoing concern in the renewable fuels industry and renewable energy industry. As you look at the role of community colleges in that mix, how do you foresee future trends impacting the type of flexibility you need to provide in the curriculum that you're offering?
That's also a really good question. One of the things that I wanted to talk a little bit about is the need for faculty development, and then the development of ever-changing curriculum that's being offered to middle school, community college, and four-year university faculty. The program that we have, the ATEC program, we partner with MIT and Iowa State and several other research industries, and what our job is to take the new scientific knowledge or the new engineering knowledge that is pretty much ununderstandable to most people. I needed a lot of tutoring just to do this, and transform it into curriculum that then is available throughout the nation to community college faculty, to community colleges, and to K-12. And so some sort of funding and system so that you can continually quickly refresh your curriculum is absolutely essential. I think the point I was trying to make earlier too is that everybody finds this very exciting, and so every community college in Iowa has stepped forward. So we have programs sprouting up everywhere. So there's a lot of duplication and not enough collaborative, systematic sharing of curriculum and faculty development.
Thank you for your participation today. It was good to have you here. One of the things that I'm interested in, Mr. Litterer, is the impact on profitability and opportunities for success for farmers that the renewable fuels bioenergy industry is providing. One of the things we know is that There is a significant amount of risk that farmers are exposed to every year, price dynamics, unpredictable weather, and many, many other variables. Can you talk to us a little bit about how renewable energy production has become a form of risk management for farmers by allowing them to diversify their investment?
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, good question. And as you're well aware, a lot of our members are also investors in ethanol plants. So they have taken a piece of ownership, if you will, into an alternative way to market their corn. So for them, it's become a win-win deal. They can either sell into the marketplace or get a return through their investment in the ethanol plant. So that's been a very important aspect. But more importantly, I think going forward, it has basically driven the demand for corn, and not just corn, all commodities. It's helped raise the price level of all commodities, not just in the United States, but worldwide. So this is a beneficial thing worldwide for farmers. We don't operate in a vacuum in the United States on producing corn. There are other areas in the world that are going to produce corn production too, like Argentina, Eastern Europe, South Africa. And then that's going to create demand for the wheat, the other feed grains, to feed the livestock industry. So it's a complex question, but what has happened is good for farmers around the world. And I think it's, as Mr. Rastetter alluded to earlier, we don't have to rely on a government subsidy because of low corn prices. This is creating a unique opportunity in our business. Again, just the price of the commodity itself, but also the investment possibilities and opportunities that we as farmers are participating in this growing industry.
Well, this has been a fascinating hearing for me personally. One of the reasons that I'm so excited about the subject of the hearing is it combines three of my passions: education, agriculture, and energy. And what I'd like to do is give each of the panelists, starting with Dr. South, 1 minute to just wrap up and tell us what message you'd like us to take away from this hearing as it relates to your individual testimony, what you'd like to see us be doing in Congress in this area, but just give you an opportunity to close with some closing remarks.
Thank you. Firstly, thanks for the opportunity to speak today. It's an important topic to us, obviously. I think the requirements for education across the board in this sector are huge. If we to be the industry we aspire to be in terms of its impact on U.S. energy supply, if we just take the percentages and multiply across against what the R&D that it goes into a petroleum industry is versus what it would be against what is now a nascent cellulosic ethanol industry, and project those down into the requirements we're going to have across our post-secondary school education, I think we have major challenges ahead of us. The great thing is there's a lot of focus coming in now, and we applaud the leadership that's been shown by the committee in doing so. From our perspective, the most important thing we're going to do to hone the requirements for this education are to get in the ground as quickly as possible and get the operational experience that can really drive out operational excellence in manufacturing and in bringing new technologies through to market. So from that perspective, the right things are being done. We need to make sure that we can actually establish the industries and meet some of the very, very aggressive goals that the U.S. Congress is setting for us.
Thank you. I think that as we look toward the future and the bright opportunities that cellulosic-based ethanol and biofuels and bioenergy bring, in addition to the existing renewable energy sector that we have, it's important to recognize that there really are two stages, and I certainly applaud you for looking ahead to that second stage where this industry is well developed and well on its way to achieving those goals. But there's a precursor to that, and I think that the land-grant universities in particular have a real role to play in the research and development and deployment of those technologies that are required in order to achieve that future vision. I think also it's very important to remember as we move forward that this is likely to develop as a very region-specific approach, and we need to be sure that we are evaluating those region-specific advantages and moving forward in region-appropriate ways.